Sports. It's who we are. It's what we do. It's how we roll. It's wins and losses, highs and lows. It's effort, respect, and dedication. The High School Sports Beat. Sports. It's who we are.
Hello everyone, happy holidays and thank you for joining us on the High School Sports Beat. I'm Dave Yates. We continue our look back at 10 years of covering Section 5 sports with this story from December of 2013. Here's Bill Pucko and Dan Fates.
Which brings us to Bishop Kearney High School. After winning a very high-profile state boys basketball championship last year, there's a new kingdom at Kearney this season. Here's Dan Fates.
Keep myself humble. Don't be cocky or don't say that you're the best at anything. Just know that just work as hard as the next person does.
Still, it's kind of exciting to be you, isn't it?
It is kind of exciting.
He's really good, but he still has a lot to learn, and he's got to get stronger. But I mean, for 15 years old, I mean, he's the best 15-year-old I've ever been around and seen play.
We may be far from South Beach, but for the past 2 seasons, the Bishop Kearney boys basketball team can be compared to the Miami Heat. College coaches, TV cameras, and reporters filled the gyms every game. But after winning last year's state title, the circus is over. Big-name players Antoine Anderson and Chinua Aboku have graduated to D1 colleges. Thomas Bryant, the number 15th ranked high school player in the country by ESPN, transferred to Huntington Prep School in West Virginia, and head coach John Boone retired and left for greener pastures. It's now time to rebuild a new kingdom.
It was actually crazy. It was a lot of attention coming from the school and all around. And yeah, it was real crazy. With all the different colleges and everything coming and seeing all the different players, because we had Thomas, Chino, and Antoine too, and they really brought a lot of attention to the school.
It was kind of a surreal type of scenario where you got big time coaches in the gym with you guys, but to me they're just ordinary people looking at the kids, and the ultimate goal was to get kids scholarships.
But for a season that ended in roses, it wasn't always sunshine. The Kings struggled to come together, and at the halfway point, they found themselves under 500.
The media, everyone talking about us, and then when it got in the beginning of the season, we kind of struggled a little bit. It was all the hype went down, and then we was kind of quiet and forgot about it. But then towards the end of the season, right when session started, we started rolling again, and then that's when we got big.
What was it like during the middle parts when people were asking, you have all these great players and you weren't really getting the W's to go along with it?
Again, people are always going to be criticizing when things are not going right. And with any sport, when things don't go right, we talk to the team, stay together, everything gel in the right time, and it did.
With the media circus over, the Bishop Kearney Kings look forward to just getting back to playing basketball and seeing what this year's team has in store for an encore. Are you guys excited to play a game of basketball without all the cameras and just kind of relax and play the game?
Yeah, it takes a lot of pressure off, but at the same time we still got pressure because people want us to live up to the expectations and live up to the hype from last year and win states again.
But the Kings have even loftier goals this time around, and moving forward, working to bring the circus back to town.
Aquinas is much better than you defensively because they move their feet. They go hard all the time. You don't want to hear that? Then start picking it up. Go.
I talked to some of the players. Are you looking forward to coaching with maybe less college scouts, maybe less cameras around?
In the beginning, it may be like that, but the ultimate goal is we're trying to continue to get college scouts back into the gym, back following the program.
We're trying to be better than they were last year. We don't have all the height and everything, but it's still possible.
Yeah, so what's the mindset, talk about going into this season now without those star players, more of a team game?
Yeah, and it's to work harder and practice because practice makes better. So we're gonna work hard and practice, and it's gonna pay off in the game.
For the Vision High School Sports Beat, I'm Dan Fates.
The Kings finished 11-6 that season, and they're still looking for their next boys championship. Coming up next, Matt Trabold joins us for the High School Notebook. We've got that and more when the High School Sports Beat continues. Hello, everybody. Welcome back once again to the High School Sports Beat. I'm Dave Yates. It's time now for the High School Notebook, and that means it's time for Matt Trabold to join. Matt, thanks for joining us once again.
Thanks for having me on.
Hey, it's always nice when some of the big colleges in the area to get together. We recently had UB taking on Syracuse, and a nice local connection in that one as well.
Absolutely. What a game. I mean, former University prep star Jeenathan Williams certainly had a notable sophomore year last season for UB men's hoops, but this season he has been a whole higher level of beast. Started all but one game for the squad in 2019-2020, while also being the second leading scorer. And here in 2020-2021, he entered the week one of just 5 players in the country, along with Luka Garza, who is a big National Player of the Year contender. Jeenathan Williams, very good as well, averaging 20 or more points while also being top 80 nationally in rebounding. So obviously he is having a season, and he is really showing recently in the game we talked about as well. So this junior year of his has also seen him be the fastest player in program history to 100 points in a season since 1996. The 6'5" wing so far this year has just about doubled his rebounding average from last season and is currently shooting over 42% from deep after around 32% as a sophomore. So he's getting better shooting efficiently wise. He showed out at Syracuse last weekend. You mentioned it a second ago. That included scoring 10 points before the game was even. 4.5 minutes in, Williams ended with 19 points, 50% shooting, 7 boards, 4 helpers. If you ask me, it's a pretty safe bet that UB does better than 4th in the MAC, like they were ranked in the official preseason poll. So you always like to see those local kind of teams play each other because you want to see that, because a lot of times they have kids from around here. So SU and UB, and it was a classic. SU ended up pulling it out in overtime with a big second half comeback. It was a classic.
Well, no high school football this fall, of course, but still some big high school football news coming out with some letters of intent being signed.
Yeah, so an early signing period for NCAA Division I sports came around December 16 through 18, and that Wednesday was an especially notable day when it comes to Section 5 football players signing to their soon-to-be college football homes. East running back and national 4-star recruit Seven McGee signed a 2020 Pac-12 champ, Oregon to become the first RCSD Rochester City School District football student-athlete to sign to a Power 5 program since Edison Tech's Jason Colson, to West Virginia, the Mountaineers in 2001. He was a running back as well. Schools like USC, Oklahoma, the Florida Gators also recently showed interest in Seven, so obviously a very big recruit there. Also, Aquinas Institute quarterback Tyler Szalkowski put pen to paper for the Albany Great Danes, another D1 squad. That same day, the 2018 state champion said he was down to the Danes in Lafayette for where he'd bring his quarterbacking services at the college level. Former AQ players Damon Burton and Tyson Foster. They are currently on the Albany squad. Tyler referenced the style and type of offense as one reason he chose them, those Danes. The other current Section 5 football student-athletes are participated in that signing day, that particular day of it, were Victor running back Rashawn Baker to Bucknell, Iran Dakota offensive tackle Rowan McGuinn to UB, and Pittsford offensive lineman Andrew Bonani to Colgate.
All right, outstanding. Now, some guys, of course, you're going to a D1 school. You're hoping it might lead to an NFL career, and we've got one guy from Section 5 who's going to take that dip that's coming up for the draft.
Earlier this season, we talked in the show about Fairport Red Raider and Wyoming walk-on, turned star Arkansas State deep snapper, long snapper. There's a lot of different ways you can call that position. It's very niche, very interesting, and very important to the college game and also to the NFL game. Just look at Reed Ferguson with the Bills and obviously many of his counterparts across the NFL. So Seth Cottengim, he was Phil Steele, first team All-Sun Belt Conference last season, and the same outlet named him preseason conference. Second team coming into the 2020 season, also named the 20-man preseason 2020 watch list for the Patrick Manley Award for the top long snapper in FBS. in the last week. Seth declared for the 2021 NFL Draft. It'll be very interesting to see what happens in the spring and the summer with that. Hopefully he finds himself on an NFL roster. Off the field, Cottingham is a multi-instrumentalist. Not quite my area of expertise, but there is a social media aspect that really kind of got me very interested about this. So being a multi-instrumentalist, proficient in playing a few different instruments, those musical skills have led him to growing his following on TikTok, one of those social medias, to over 126,000 followers. A man of many talents.
He's only got a few more than you do at this point, right, Matt?
I don't have very many.
You're getting there, buddy. You're getting there. Hey, great stuff, man. Always a pleasure. We'll see you again next week. Take care. We're back with more of the High School Sports Beat right after this. Coming up next, the Making the Grade nominee with Kyle O'Gara, and later a national hero has his number retired in Greece. We'll have that story when the High School Sports Beat returns.
Hello everybody and welcome back to the High School Sports Beat. I'm Kyle O'Gara. Making the grade this week is Honeoye Falls Lima senior Mari Spitz. Mari is a triple threat on the court and on the field, playing soccer, basketball, and softball. If playing 3 sports throughout high school isn't impressive enough, Mari is an all-state soccer goalie and all-county for soccer, basketball, and softball. In her free time, Mari also volunteers with youth softball and soccer clinics. Outside of her busy sports life, Mari holds a 97% GPA and is part of the National Honor Society. Next year, Mari plans to play softball in college and major in education. This week, Mari Spitz is making the grade. If you have a student in mind for our Making the Grade segment, we want your nominations. Send them into mtg@rocksportsnow.com. Now here's Dave with the Section 5 Spotlight.
Well, thanks, Kyle. Here now are some of the athletes, teams, and coaches making news in our Section 5 Spotlight. Victor running back Rushawn Baker has committed to play football with Division I Bucknell University. Rushawn also ran track at Victor and carries a 3.4 GPA. Congrats to Churchill Chile's Joseph Karazi, who bowled a 300 game last week. He's just the second Saint to bowl a perfect game, following Trevor Johnson in January of 2019. And finally, congrats to Pittsford junior Daley Fraser, who broke an 18-year pool record at Webster with a dive total of 348.9 points. Well, coming up next, a ceremony to honor J-Mac. We'll have that story when the High School Sports Beat continues.
And now to Eichel. He floated one.
Welcome back and thanks for joining us for the High School Sports Beat. I'm Dave Yates. We flash back now to December of 2013 and the retirement of number 52. Here's Bill Pucko and Dan Fates.
Which brings us to Greece Athena High School, where the Trojans retired a second uniform number from an immortal moment. Here's Dan Fates.
It was over 6 years ago, but nobody could forget that night. And now amid a packed house and media frenzy, J-Mac is being immortalized. It's a story that's been told 100 times, but no matter how many times you've seen it, it'll still give you chills. Jason McKelwin is autistic, but he's never let that get in his way. And when he donned the number 52 in the Trojans black and gold back in 2006, he shocked us all. Now J-Mac's jersey joins John Wallace's 44 as the only numbers to be retired at Greece Athena, and brought everyone back to that special night.
And even though Charles Barkley criticized me on national TV and said I should have played longer, in those 4 minutes, to his dad.
You know, it was interesting because this senior year we had a lot of difficulty early in the season that I share in my book. So, and he really helped us stay together through some real trying times. And then, you know, to see how the kids came together, and then that last night to let him play and, you know, have him pass him the ball is something that I'll cherish the rest of my life.
Getting back together and sort of reminiscing about the night was great, but a night like this and the support kind of, you know, goes to show how much, you know, hope he's given people. And I think the feedback we got from that night and how much hope that he gave other families and other children, it kind of puts things into perspective, and it makes people really happy for the amount of work that he put in and then the chance that he got, and he took it.
I never asked him to pass the ball to Jason, yet in those last 4 minutes, Jason was the only one that shot. That kid occasionally, I'm still looking for your first assist.
Brought back a lot of memories of that year. It's like we had dramatic stuff happen to us early, but then after that, now we came together and we had a great postseason run and we won our first sectional title in 8 years. So.
And some things you just can't explain. Why number 52?
Just randomly. It was randomly. So.
And to think that random moment's not going to be hung up next to John Walsh's, what's that's like?
It's unbelievable. It doesn't hit me yet, so.
Even after trips to Hollywood, meeting Magic Johnson and other celebrities, even the President of the United States, fame hasn't changed J-Mac one bit.
He got in contact with me through Facebook just to make sure I was going to be at the game, and he's been contacting me nonstop. It's the same old J-Mac. Treats all the players the same and everything like that.
Has he changed at all?
Not a lick, and I think everybody here can tell, and he's still the same old J-Mac, and he still, you know, coaches with the same amount of passion as he does with us. And, you know, someone had gone through like that, you know, things could change, but he's been able to stay grounded, and you know, we're thankful and we're happy for him.
It really choked me up at first. I had to battle those emotions there for a little bit, but yeah, I mean, it's amazing because I speak all over the country and I talk about it, and when I show the video, I get choked up still to this day. I've seen that video 400 times at least, but it was just profoundly touched me in so many ways.
What's next?
Game time.
Take care. For the Vision High School Sports Beat, I'm Dan Yates.
We'd like to thank the athletes, teams, and coaches in Section 5, and if you have a story you'd like to share with us, please let us know. Send an email to rocksportsnow@gmail.com. Thanks for watching. Be safe, have a happy holiday, and we'll see you in the new year for more of the High School Sports Beat.
Sports and music, teammates in the creative process as we offer our salute to the sports season. Thank you for watching.
I just want to have a good time, man.